An unfortunate truth that, I mean, I would say fortunate, but many people might say it's unfortunate. The harsh reality of becoming an in depth thinker is isolation because the mass populace is not in depth thinkers. They are consumers. They like to consume everything on their phone. Um, you are not gonna, obviously, young males are becoming more of in depth thinkers because that's just the natural tendency, the natural way to go. But obviously, I don't know what the real statistics are, but the more of an in-depth thinker you become, like really, because there's like no limit really to what you can think of, right? And there's things that I recently have started to think of that I never even thought were possible. For instance, the whole system that we live is made up. Everything we do is made up. Everything has been engineered, and every laws have been put into place to control everything. Everything is made up. Like a bend on a road, someone drew that bend. If they designed it or whatever. It's everything down to law and property inflation, and everything is made up. And that's like that's reality. But and you're not gonna the more you go further and further into these in-depth thinking, and that's who you are. That's like who you start to align with as an in-depth thinker. The more alienated you're gonna become because, for instance, I don't find any pleasure in going and drinking some alcohol and becoming intoxicated with a bunch of people in like a local building, and they're playing music that is like deafening. You can't really speak to people. This is all just, when you really look at life through a more wiser framework, it's like you really think to yourself, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, everything's made up. Celebrities are made up. It's, people that were in Hollywood at the time, back in the day. Obviously now a celebrity would be like a big time influencer or whatever. It's all made up. And you can't really, I mean, I used to, when I was younger, I would think I'm not of any value until I have my face on boards around the world or whatever. When in actual fact, this is all a lie. I was obviously not. I was not trained properly. Obviously you come to these realizations later, but yeah, I mean, I had a real existential crisis, and you'd think fame was the answer or whatever. When like all of this is made up, you know, and you also don't know how long you have in life. Like, you don't know how long you have. Like, you could get bad news anytime, in the future, and you are inevitably gonna die from something. So, I mean, that's like 100% guaranteed. But the thing is, trying to fight death, I mean, I guess there's no point. There's no point. Obviously, you want to try and live a longer, healthier, happy life, and not just, uh, take medicine to subside your symptoms, but actually cure the problem. Which obviously the modern day medical regime is not set out for. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the more of an in-depth thinker you're gonna become, and if this video gets any views by chance, I would like to start like a Discord where people can share their thoughts and their ideas, not just a bunch of rubbish. But yeah, obviously that's not defined on an algorithm. But if you do enjoy the video so far, I mean, I've never had a video really get any views, and I really like this where I sit down and I speak, because the more of an in depth thinker I become, it's just the more I really resonate with my own words. It's really something quite profound. And listening to other individuals, I know this Jet guy that I've been watching. I just love his videos, and it's simple. He speaks to a camera for like 20 minutes or whatever metric varying time frame it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm starting to have full blown conversations with myself, because I'm like a really smart individual, and something that really stood out to me was Jeffrey Epstein said it. He said, I'm not now saying I like it, Jeffrey Epstein or whatever. I'm just saying he said something very interesting where Socrates or Aristotle or something, they would never write. They would just think. And how we trained in a specific way to think. And a lot of people interpret literacy levels is associated with intelligence. Now you can reason with people that say that, because obviously if you're pronouncing these sophisticated words and you have a high level vernacular, you're going to associate that with intelligence. But a high level thinker that can think about abstract things, or from an external perspective, it's viewed as abstract, but it's not really abstract for a high level thinker or an in depth thinker. It's not really a hierarchy to it, is it? So it really just is interesting. And I think just making a video and just, putting out your framework and just putting it out there. I mean, it's not. I'm at such a point of understanding of how things have come to be and how things get set up or have been set up, that like there's no point in me trying to create some video. I mean, let's say I put a bunch of effort into a video and I generate 20,000 views, and like it's a means to an end. Any kind of video you make in social media in this time of social media is a it's futile. You're not building a career. That's impossible to do. So I mean, this actually, if someone resonates with anything that I'm saying, there's a value to this, and even if that person is myself, there's a acute value to this, and it resonates. And yeah, I mean, in this consumerism 9 to 5, 7 to 5 workplace that we live in nowadays, you can't even own a home. The whole dating market is messed up. I can go into depth about my thoughts of this subject matter, but yeah, I just thought I'd make this video. Um, and I thought about it. A lot of the time, I start questioning myself why I'm not unapologetically doing things. Like, let's say I'm talking to myself in the car and I see someone behind me looking at me, and then I would catch myself not stopping, and then I'd catch myself thinking, why am I stopping? Well, that person doesn't. If that person cares, fuck them. And if they don't care, then great. Like, why am I stopping? So it's interesting how, I mean, other than the fact that we're all going to die, obviously you can't just use that as a constant framework, which you actually could, but you also got to think, like, why am I letting other people dictate my life? Like, everybody has been evolved to think in a specific manner. Why am I doing things that are not akin to with my own agenda and my own thoughts? Real like geniuses and smart individuals, like, they're not bound and like, do you think these people can actually have a real connection with the sheep of today, like watching your little Netflix show? Or the only answer is within yourself. So when you realize it is all within, there is no external power that can be drained externally. It must all come from within yourself. Like, so stop looking. It's all is within. Now, obviously, this is probably some meaningless statement, and it probably could be, or it could become true, and you really resonate with what I say. Either way, I've got to watch what I say and I communicate, due to YouTube standards or whatever. But I mean, yeah, it's a means to an end, and life really is an abstract, weird thing. And the more you realize the power that you have, and the power is within, and you do not have to be a slave to other people's sense of authority or judgment. But yeah, anyways, if you that's all I'm gonna try and make these daily uploads every day. Obviously, if I don't get any views, I'm gonna not put any effort in and make this video. So, I mean, if I can get 200 views on this video, that would be sick. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know if you found this helpful. I feel like there's a real change, but I think change is in the brain is subjective, obviously. But I feel like there is an objective change that is occurring really drastically throughout the world now. Um, Not that there ever hasn't been change, really. There's always been change, but I feel like our life cycles, our lifespans is coming to change. Or maybe that's just a prefabricated thought that I have that I'm running with. I don't know. But, anyways, thanks for watching.